Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. You're stuck with me today. Eli is watching a show on TV and I just can't pull him from it. And Matt is running some errands. So we're going to do some morning chores this morning, and I want to give you an update on how kind of all the animals are growing. I know we shared probably yesterday a little bit about what's going on, but it's actually almost a week later, and I just kind of want to show you how fast they're growing. New little laying hens in the garage are still here. We are having such cold temps that we have not moved them anywhere yet. But as you can see, the bigger ones, the ones that might have some roosters in it, they're getting pretty big for this area. Those ones we got not that long ago, the little ones are doing fine, and the other ones are also doing well. Even the ones we hatched, they seem like they're fitting fine in here. So it's mainly just these white leghorn. I want to say yellow because aren't their legs yellow? The white leghorn. They are the ones that are just outgrowing this. So I'm hoping we've got some girls in there at least. That's the only one where we might have some roosters in there as well. Well, and our hatched ones, I suppose. Since Matt took care of those little laying birds this morning, they already have their food and their water. So I won't need to do that this morning, but they are eating their food so quickly that I'll have to come out around lunchtime and give them some more. Get your food. Ooh, you got some fresh sawdust in here, huh? Oh, those are pine shavings. That was nice, Dad. We got some new cat food. What do you think of this stuff? So Miss Pixie's growing up, growing big. We actually had a little concern. I brought her into the vet to get our rabies vaccine because she seems to be a permanent member of our family, and they were a little concerned she might be pregnant. So she's super young for that. So I kind of hope she's not. And Matt would love to have some extra farm kittens around here, so he wouldn't mind if she had a litter and then we took care of that. But I would have rather taken care of it right away. So it is what it is, and we're going to just move on from here and take care of her and whatever comes of that best we can. I think I'm going to fill up waters after I do everybody's food today. So now that we are using our hose again, I'm going to turn that on and off to get our water rather than bringing the jugs out. So I think what I'll do is get everybody their food. Can you see me? It's very dark. There we go. I think what I'll do is I'll get everybody their food and then we'll take care of water. Now the pigs, I don't know, I might have to make other plans for that if I have to go in there, but for the most part we can usually do that through the fence. So I have to show you, Matt picked something up for me. Last year I bought new lights for our garden fence and I just loved them, but one of them stopped working right away, and so they were just kind of useless. So he got me these little lights and hung them up. They look nice. So that way when we come out here and it's a little bit dark, we can see them. And then he also got one for the pig area over here. See this? I thought that was kind of cute. Up on the post. Hi, girls. That's kind of cute. Hi! You getting hungry? I'm sorry. You're not eating your alfalfa pellets. What's that about? Matt picked up some alfalfa pellets for them. It's like they haven't been eating them. I was worried we didn't have treats in here for them. Matt's been using this red bucket, if I can open it, and just, oops, a pint jar to measure how much feed they're getting. So, I don't know why it's so dark. There we go. So that we can get a better idea. But our friend dropped off some cucumbers, so they're going to get some cucumbers too. I don't know how fast they're going to eat them. So, grab 6 of them. A little bit of time to get the feed in there. Tater tot. You like these cucumbers? Sure hoping you do. More tiny. Uh-oh. Don't even think about Well, that wasn't too much trouble. A little harder to carry that bucket than. Alright. So they do not love the cucumbers as much as they loved lettuce and apples and things like that. Alright, so pigs, they're growing. They are getting big at kind of the rate they should be. I know we get a lot of comments that like those pigs are so small and they're growing so small. And most of you express that you're not familiar with this type of pig. So the coonies typically take quite a bit longer as far as filling out goes, and they don't get as big as your typical feeder pigs like the ones we had last summer. So that's a huge part of it. We're trying to be good about making sure measuring how much food they're getting now, so they're getting the appropriate amount. For a while there, we were getting such a surplus of produce and things that we made sure they got feed and produce, and then we just kind of guess. So now it's more that produce is a treat when we're having just a small amount, kind of to entice them to move away from the gate so we can get in there. What's up? You want your water? I know, I'll get it to you. The big laying hens, so I think Matt mentioned, but we did end up giving about a dozen to a friend who wanted to get chickens, and since we kind of overkill did it on the new laying hens, that's perfect. We don't really need that overabundance of eggs, although it's nice to have. I do enjoy having pickled eggs and things. I can wait for that. That also helps. So you might recall that last year when we were butchering our meat birds, we did also butcher some of our older laying hens. So since we got rid of some of the older ones, we won't need to do that this year, which will be really nice. Where's all the scoopers? No, Pixie? There are no scoopers in here. Well, goodness sakes, how many handmade ones do we make? Bought a metal one, got 2 green ones. I don't see a single one. Oh. Matt has extra time on his hands. He makes things easier that tend to make it more confusing for me. So, he made little hooks for all the scoopers. That's awesome. I just couldn't find them. I gotta figure out how to get in here. Alright. Yeah, that looks really nice. We're not really loving that these meat bird girls are still sitting here. I wish they were moving around on the grass already, but this year it's just been, it is what it is kind of situation, and I'm amazed at what they've managed to forage just being in this one spot. So hopefully they'll be moving soon, but here's where they are for now. Oh, oops, sorry, honey. All right? So, I'm not really sure what the reasoning is or why exactly, or maybe they're just not drinking as much water, but this particular group of meat birds, they have not figured out the nipple feeder yet. Water's completely full. We checked it. I kind of showed them, if you will, how it works. It's not a nipple feeder. It's like a, I don't know what it's called. I'll put the words down below, but they tap it and the water comes out kind of thing. And so they're just drinking out of the other water, just kind of a normal one. And that is almost full too. So Matt filled them up last night, but they're just it's crazy how little they're using. Now the pigs' water froze last night, so I cracked that all open and it's full. So I'm going to leave it. Typically I would give them fresh water every morning, but it's frozen, so I think it's pretty clean. I didn't show you too much up close how these meat birds are growing, but considering they haven't been moved much, they're probably eating a little more grain than they otherwise would. They're growing really well and they seem to be doing really well. I am so glad that we've gone with all females again. I don't think we'll ever do the mixed group again. I think that just, they were too mean, and the roosters too mean. It was too much. So they're just so much more calm. Again, we're having issues with the water, so I don't know what that's about. But hopefully as we move them, we'll see they're foraging more and more, because that's definitely what I want to be seeing too. I know, I should have got your water right away, huh? Well, it's just Miss Pixie who needs some water. Miss Pixie. All right. There we go. All right. I know it's not an animal update, but the kids made me promise next time I was out here filming to update you guys on their fort build. So I have to show you what they've been up to. Now Matt's gonna have to go through and do some security checks of things. But their fort used to just be this little section here, and now it includes a ramp, ladder for easy access, a slide. I think maybe I showed that to you before. So they actually screwed the slide to the fort, and this part's pretty solid. It's the other stuff we gotta double check, but they've got a whole second level here, and they're getting ready. Grandma gave them a tarp, I think for Christmas last year, so they're getting ready to put a tarp roof on here, and they're trying to figure out how to make it angled. So they extended it out here and made this roof angled so that they don't end up with water sitting on top of the roof. And then what I thought was just the cutest is they built this little area here. They've got their wood for their fires, which they are not actually going to have, but their wood. And some of them want this to be like their barn shelter, and then the others want it to be just a bike port for them to put their bicycles under. So I just thought it was really, really cute, really funny. They've still got their other part of their fort in here with their ladder and their table and things like that. But they've been busy, and I'm sure this is not up to code, but it's really cool to just see them try to build and create things, and that brings me a lot of joy too. So hope you enjoyed this video and hearing an update of how our animals are growing. Oh, and if you're curious about the bees, hopefully we'll have nice weather soon and they'll be out. Glad you got to see us again. Bye.